right, let's get this party started. Good afternoon and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio. This is our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Lee Doubleday and I'm the Director of Operations here at the Imagine America Foundation. I'm excited about today's topic, the road to success with Lincoln Tech. Lincoln Tech has 22 campuses located throughout the United States and is this country's leading provider of high-quality career-focused education. Today's discussion is going to be focused around the Lincoln Tech's Nashville campus. This campus has a long history of graduating successful technicians in the automotive, collision repair, diesel technology, heavy equipment, and welding industry. Lincoln Tech is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 10,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation and our scholarship program to the Imagine America's website, which is www.imagine-america.org. Joining us today to discuss your road to success is Dustin Sprouse. Dustin is Lincoln Tech's high school ambassador. He has a passion for helping students reach their career goals, and he's been doing this now for over 8 years. But before turning the program over to Dustin, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, we will then present any questions offered by the participants, and we'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Dustin Sprouse. Dustin, the floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could take a little bit of time out of your busy schedules to join us this evening. And I'm going to take you down a little journey down the road to success. Talk a little bit about the planning and preparation that you need to invest in yourselves to prepare for the next chapter of your life, your career. So we'll go ahead and get this show on the road. So when it comes to successful careers and that next step, that next chapter of your life, the first thing you got to do is you got to graduate, right? You got to get there. You guys are so close, a couple months. I know this year has been very unprecedented. It's been very difficult. It's like nothing you've ever experienced before because of COVID. Y'all have been virtual and in person and back to virtual again, and who knows what. Your schedules have all changed and shortened class periods, and it's been a little chaotic. I know some of you are just ready to be done. You're over it. You're just ready. You can't wait to get to the finish line. You're just counting down the days. Some of you are still a little bit nervous, not sure what that next chapter of your life is going to look like. And some of you just truly aren't quite ready yet. You really haven't invested any kind of top planning or preparation into planning for your futures and your career. So that's kind of a cause and effect of COVID. We've kind of seen some changes with the students this year that everything's just been a little bit delayed. Students are just a little bit hesitant, really haven't made some of the decisions that they normally would have made by this time of year. So I know there are a lot of students out there that still have not quite figured out a plan for their futures. So we're going to talk about that process. So once you get there, you make it, graduation, finally, cap and gown, right? Celebrating, mom's there, she's crying, everybody's there, the family, blowing the air horns, having a good old time. Now what, right? Now comes some very important decision making. These are decisions that are going to impact the outcome of the rest of your life, some of the most important decisions you're ever going to make. So it's imperative that you're really investing the time and the effort now to doing some research and some planning and some preparing so that you can make educated decisions when it comes to your futures. So we're going to talk about the recipe for success, talk about some of those next steps that you need to be taking to plan for the next chapter of your life. The first thing that you have to do is you have to figure out what you're going to do. You have to choose a career field. Long before you can go to college and start figuring out what school you want to go to and all these types of things, you have to figure out what you're going to do. Otherwise, you're going and you're paying for college for what? You don't know. So it's important that you kind of choose a career field. Now, there are some things that you're going to want to consider when it comes to choosing your careers. Things like pay and benefits, demand and opportunity, your passion for it, right? The location, where are these jobs located? Industry growth projections. Are these career fields that you're looking into possibly pursuing careers in? Are these career fields that are growing? Are they in demand or are they dying, right? COVID taught us a new term. It's called the essential worker, right? And so you want to make sure that you're choosing a career field that is going to give you longevity, that's going to give you job security in case another pandemic happens or some other kind of a freak happening takes place and people are getting laid off and losing their jobs. You want to make sure that the career choice that you're making is a good fit for you. It's going to set you up for success. And so there are some things that you need to know, you need to educate yourselves with when it comes to choosing your careers. Some of you know exactly what you want to do and you have your careers chosen. And some of you are still trying to figure it out, not quite sure what you want to do. Whatever you are planning on doing, whether you know exactly what you want to do, or whether you have it narrowed down to a couple, maybe you got 2 or 3 career fields you're considering, you need to do some research. You need to educate yourselves in relation to the career choices that you're making. Now, I interview students to come to Lincoln Tech as part of my job. And one of the questions I ask every student I interview is, how much research have you actually done into the field? How much do you know about that industry? Most students say very little. I know a little, right? I read it in a magazine or somebody told me or this or that or the other, kind of word of mouth, just some general stuff. Very few students are doing the real in-depth research that they need to do into the careers that they're choosing. You need to know things, and you can go online and access this information on a variety of different websites. I've got a couple of them up here on the slide that are very resourceful, very valuable, these are good sites that you can depend on the information is accurate on these sites. One of them is ownitonline.org and the other is bls.gov, and the BLS stands for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. There are all sorts of information, statistics on these sites about pay, about industry growth, about job opportunities and where these jobs are located and all these types of things. So you need to go online, you need to do some of that in-depth research. The career fields that you're thinking about pursuing careers in, do you know how many jobs there are in that field right now? Do you know what the industry growth projections for that industry are going to be for the next 10, 20, 15, 25, 30 years? Do you know what the average retirement age is? There's a lot of information. Do you know what kind of education you need to get to have a successful career in that field? Do you need a degree? Do you need certifications? Those are things that you have to start researching and learning about the career choices that you're making so you can make sure you're setting yourselves up for success. Is it something you're good at? Is it something that you enjoy doing? And is it something that's going to allow you to live the lifestyle that you want to live based off of the pay, the demands of the job, and the location of the career opportunities that are out there? So get online, go to these websites, start doing some of that research. Make sure you're setting yourselves up for success. Now, we talk about some of these things that you're going to want to consider when it comes to choosing a career field. One of the most important things to consider when it comes to choosing your careers is demand. Opportunity and demand is the most important thing of all. It's more important than pay. It's more important than passion. It's more important than any of the other stuff. Simply because if there is no opportunity and there are no jobs, you have no career. Doesn't matter how passionate you are about something. Doesn't matter how good you are at it. Doesn't matter how much it pays. If there aren't any jobs, you're not going to be able to do it. And the skills gap relates to the skilled trades industries. These are some of the most in-demand career fields in this country. The skilled tradesmen that are all across the United States working, they are considered essential workers. Their careers and their jobs were not affected by the pandemic. They weren't laid off. They didn't lose their jobs. They were able to continue working. These are industries that are growing, and these industries are in high demand because the baby boomers are retiring, and they're the ones who make up a majority of the workforce in these industries that you see here around me. Between now and 2028, over the next 7 years, they're going to need to fill almost 3 million jobs in these related fields. I mean, look, almost 500,000 welders, HVAC, diesel, automotive, almost 750,000 automotive technicians are going to be needed. Almost 1 million electrical and electronic systems technicians. There's a lot of opportunity out there in the skilled trades industries. Some of the most in-demand fields that you can find, because the demand is so high, the pay and the benefits have really improved. You can make a great earning working in these industries. These companies are offering exceptional benefit packages. If you are looking for a career that's very rewarding, a career that's going to get you skills that are going to be valuable always, and you are a hands-on type of an individual, these are probably the types of careers that you're going to want to look into. So if you haven't quite made a decision on what you're going to do, you need to do a little bit of research. These are some career fields that you might consider. All right, so once you choose a career field, then you have a pretty good idea of what you want to do. You know that you've chosen a good career field that's in demand, and you can make the kind of money you need to make to live the lifestyles you want to live. You kind of got all that figured out, and you've done that research. The next step is you have to figure where you're going to go and get the training and the education that you need so that you can have a successful career within that career field. So what is your destination? We're going to talk about 5 destinations. These are the 5 destinations that most students will take. Some of these are great options and some of them are not, but we're going to take a look at each one and see, give you a little information, the pros and cons to each one of these. So the first one here, you could say, you know what, 13 years of school, I've had enough. No more school for me, I'm done. I'm just going to go out and get a job. Right? The word job is an abbreviation for just over broke, because that's basically what you are if you got a job. A lot of you work jobs right now. You work at McDonald's, or you stock shelves at Walmart, or you mow grass. That's a job. There's a difference between a job and a career. Career is something that is long-term, something that grows with you over time, something that you have to invest in, work towards. A job is not. You do not want to just get a job. Unless your family owns a business and you're just taking over the family business one day, then maybe this might be realistic. But in today's United States, it's very difficult to go out and have a successful career with nothing more than a high school diploma. It's very difficult to do. So you're going to have to get more education and training after high school if you want to have successful careers. Most people want to have successful careers. So if you do want to have a successful career, this is not a very good option. You could take a year off. You hear a lot of students talk about that. The gap year, right? The pandemic is, kind of one of those things that's given some students an excuse to take a year off. Well, I just want to kind of wait a year and see how things are going to work out with the pandemic and everything else that's going on. Well, the problem with taking a year off is that most students don't actually take a year off. Statistically, students who say they're going to quote unquote take a year off, they do not return to school after a year. It's usually many, many, many years down the road, 5, 6, 7+ years before they ever do return to college. Most of them never return to college. But eventually what happens is life happens, right? Things happen, things get in the way, this happens, that happens. And then one year becomes, well, I got to wait another year now because I got to pay off this car I bought. Well, this came up, so this, and before you know it, it's 5, 10 years down the road, you still haven't gone to college. And it's very difficult to do the older you get. You guys are in a routine of getting up and going to school every day right now. Your brains are in a developmental stage where they can retain information at a high level. The older you get, the harder it is for you to retain information and learn. So taking a year off is detrimental. And let's be honest, most students don't actually return to college after a year. It's usually many, many years down the road, or they never come back. A lot of students think they're going to take a year off to save money. I want to save money for college, work, whatever. The problem is that that's not going to happen. If you haven't saved money for college over the last 18 years, you've been alive, what makes you think you're going to save money within the next year? Most students who say they're taking a year off to save money, they actually have less money saved for college a year after they graduated high school than they did at the point when they actually graduated high school. There are more funding and more scholarship opportunities available for you right now as seniors than there will be 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So it's important that you go and get to education. If you want to have a successful career and you know that you're going to have to go to college at some point, you might as well just go now. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. Just go, get it over with. That way you can get to your career field much sooner. So taking a year off is not a great option. The military, this is a good option. This is a good option for some, but not for everybody. If you are thinking about enlisting and going into the military, that's awesome. But make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. If you are only going to the military because you want to get your education paid for, that's not a good reason. The reason you should be enlisting is because you want to serve your country. A lot of students go and they do it for some of the benefits, and that's what those are. Getting your education paid for is a benefit of the military, not a reason to go and enlist, right? It's about service. And a lot of students don't think of the consequences of their actions, and they go and they enlist and they go and they serve. And there are, long-term effects of serving in the military, some challenges for ex-military. You may have to go and fight and do some things. So you got to be prepared for that. You just need to understand and know what you're getting yourselves into. If you're not sure what you want to do, you're really undecided, you haven't quite figured it out yet, this may be a great option to be able to go out, get some very valuable training, get some great experience through the military, and try to kind of figure out what you might want to do. And then, yes, the military will help you pay for your education. So the military is a great option. It's good for some, but not for everybody. But if you are going down this route, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. All right. Now you also got college. You can go to post-secondary education. There's different types of colleges out there, community colleges, four-year colleges, technical schools. We're going to take a look at a couple of these. Now, when it comes to choosing a college, there's really two things that are going to influence the decision. One is the career field you're choosing. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a marine biologist, certain things like that, you're going to have to go to a traditional college because the career choice you're making says that you need a 4-year degree or more. So the career field that you're choosing is going to kind of influence the type of a school or college you go to. The other thing is going to be you as an individual. What type of a student are you? Do you succeed and do you thrive in a traditional environment? Do you like sitting behind a desk and doing bookwork and paperwork and listening to lectures? Or are you more of a hands-on kinesthetic type of learner where you like to be up and be active and do it? You want to put yourself in an environment that's going to allow you to be successful. So if you are not good at the traditional type schooling, you probably don't want to go to a traditional college. You want to make sure you're setting yourselves up for success. So your career choice is going to influence it, and the type of a learner that you are is going to influence it. Traditional college is a great option for some. Again, it's not for everybody. Traditional colleges tend to take a little bit longer. It takes the average student in the United States almost 5.5 years to get a 4-year college degree. Traditional colleges are usually more expensive. You're going to invest a lot of money to go through and get your degree and going to school like that. And again, you want to make sure that you have career opportunity after your graduation. One of the big problems we have with traditional education in this country is that a lot of students are going to college and they're getting degrees, which is great. But the problem is the degrees they're getting are useless. They can't do anything with them. And it's because they're getting degrees in career fields that have no demand or no opportunity, which kind of reverts back to what we talked about earlier and why the career research is so important. You want to make sure that if you're going to invest money into your education, you're going to go to college, you're choosing a career field that's going to allow you to be successful. And there's a high demand for an opportunity out there within the industry. And then you also have tech schools, right? Again, your career is going to determine the type of school you go to. So if you are going into a field of being a mechanic or a technician or an electrician or a plumber or a welder or something like that, this is probably the type of school that you're going to want to attend. And also your learning style. If you are more of a hands-on kinesthetics type learner, then a technical college is probably going to be a better fit for you. It's going to set you up for success and allow you to be in an environment that's going to cater to your learning style. So again, your personal needs and your career choice is going to influence a lot of this. One of the benefits of technical schools is that it's much faster. The programs are much more career focused. It's a hands-on training environment. You can typically get in and get out much quicker than a traditional college. And again, like we talked about earlier with the skills gap, we know that these industries are in high demand and there's a lot of opportunity out there for you. And these are industries that provide you with a high level of job security. So it's a good fit. All right. So now that we kind of took a look at the destinations, kind of see where you're headed, what direction you think you're going, you got to do that career research on the front end, pick a destination that's right for you, and then get in it and get it going, right? The sooner you can get in, the sooner you can get through your schooling and get to your career, the sooner you can start making money and start moving up the ladder. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Lincoln Tech and how Lincoln Tech can help those of you who are interested in going to tech schools and are interested in pursuing careers in the skilled trades and getting hands-on training, how we can help connect you to a successful career within the skilled trades industries. Lincoln Tech has been around for a long time. Lincoln was actually founded in 1946 up in Newark, New Jersey by J. Warren Davies. Opened up the very first Lincoln Tech to provide training to the soldiers that were returning from World War II, for the veterans. We are celebrating our 75th anniversary this year, which is pretty exciting. We have graduated over 250,000 students out of our programs over the years. We are actually one of the largest technical educators in the country. We have 22 campuses in 14 states nationwide, and we teach a wide variety of skilled trade specific training programs. We're going to take a look at some of these programs and talk about some of our locations here in just a moment. Some of the benefits of Lincoln Tech, what makes us different from a lot of other colleges out there, even some of the other technical colleges that are out there, is one, our programs are faster. You can get in and get trained and get to the workforce much quicker. We have very career-focused training programs, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. It's a hands-on training environment. You have career services to help with job placement assistance, which we're also going to talk about in a little bit more detail here in just a moment. Instructors that have real-world experience. National and local advisory boards, financial aid and scholarships are available for you if you qualify for them. So, talk about some locations. Geographically, where most of you are going to be located, our Nashville campus is going to be the closest campus to home for you. We do have campuses scattered all across the country, but Nashville's probably going to be the closest to where you are living. Our campus in Nashville has been there for about 100 years, a little over 100 years. It was originally Nashville Automotive Diesel College, and Lincoln Tech acquired the school. It's a 14-acre property that we own. It's a 330,000 square feet of shop space. It's a big school. A lot of cool stuff down there. They have dorms and the cafeteria. And if you haven't ever been to Nashville, Nashville's a really cool city. They got a great sports scene. Obviously, it's the music capital of the world. So it's a lot of fun stuff to do outside of school in your free time. It's got a beautiful campus down there. We're going to take a look at some of the programs that we offer at our campus in Nashville. So the first two we're going to take a look at here are automotive and diesel. These two programs are very similar in the type of work that students will be doing and the environment that they're doing it in, right? You're a technician, you're turning wrenches, you're working on engines, transmissions, suspensions, electrical systems, and things like that. However, the diesel program is a little different from the auto program, just in relation to the versatility that's with diesel. You know, diesel's in a lot of different types of equipment out there. So our programs are designed to train you and prepare you to go out into the workforce, into these industries, and be able to get the certifications that you need to go out and fulfill successful careers within these fields. Now, these programs are very similar also in their length and the type of training that you're receiving. So you can take a look here. We have a 13-month diploma program. One of the coolest things about Lincoln Tech is we don't make you take general education classes. English, history, science, sociology, those types of classes, you don't have to take them. If you want to come out and learn how to be a technician, learn how to be a diesel mechanic or an auto mechanic, and learn how to turn wrenches, that's what we're going to teach you how to do. We do have associate's degrees available. They are optional. It's elective. If you want to take those additional classes so that you can get your associate's degree, you can do that. But the diploma program only takes you 13 months to complete. That's fast. Most colleges, even other technical colleges, it's going to take you at least 2 years, 24 months to complete your training. Being able to do it in 13 months is incredible. And then just to add those additional classes to get your associate's degree, it only adds an additional 3 months, 16 months total, start to finish for your hands-on training and your associate's degree. Pretty cool. Both of these programs are ASE programs. We're going and putting you through the training so that you can potentially go out and get your ASE certifications after you graduate, get into the workforce and get some experience under your belt. We have large shops, large facilities, and tons of equipment for you to work on while you're in school. Next two programs we're going to take a look at are collision and welding. Now, these programs do vary a little bit. The collision program is a 12-month program, so it's similar in length to the automotive and the diesel program. 1 year, you could be in and be out, you'd be into the industry. Teaching you how to rebuild cars that have been wrecked, damaged, teaching you how to restore old hot rods, painting, metal fabrication, electrical mechanical systems, frame straightening, all those types of things. The associate's degree for this program kicks it up to 17 months total. And this is ICAR training, putting you through the training so that you can go out and get your ICAR certifications relative to the industry to go work. Our welding program is a little bit different. It is shorter. Our welding program is very focused, very, very specific. There is no associate degree option available. It's only a diploma program. 8 months, you could be in, trained, and out of school, teaching you metal cutting technologies, fabrication procedures, blueprint reading, MIG welding, TIG welding, all these types of things. Training and certifications through the welding program come from AWS and also from NCCER. And then the last program we have to take a look at is the heavy equipment program. Now, this is not a heavy equipment operators program. You get a lot of people confused thinking they're going to come to operator school and how to operate heavy equipment. That's not what this is. It's a heavy equipment maintenance program. We're teaching you how to service and work on heavy equipment, how to maintain it and repair it. 13 months, just like the auto and diesel program, 16 months for the associate's degree. This is also an ASE program. The heavy equipment program and the diesel program have a lot of similarities, a lot of the same classes. What the heavy equipment program does is it adds a couple of classes in that program that relate specifically to the heavy equipment, some advanced training with some welding, some advanced training with hydraulic systems and some of those types of things, and some heavy duty drivetrains and transmissions as well. All right, so now that we took a look at the programs, got a lot of great options. Come out, get your hands-on training, get in and get out quick, very fast. Don't have to take the gen ed classes, which is pretty exciting. So just want to kind of see what kind of programs y'all might be interested in. You might be interested in one of our programs or more than one. You can pick a couple of different ones. If you're interested in more than one, that's fine. Some of you might have several interests. Very good. And now we're going to talk a little about career services, job placement, right? That's the whole point of a student coming to school and getting training is so that they can have a successful career at the end of the day. So career services, very important, right? We have a department dedicated to helping students reach the career field. They help with professional development, they help with employer networking, and they also help assist with job placement. We assist our students in securing part-time jobs to work while they're going to school so they can work part-time, make their own money, and pay their own bills. Most of our students are working industry-related part-time jobs. And we're also helping our graduates in securing full-time employment in their fields anywhere they want to go for the entirety of their career. Whether you want to move back home, live in the South, live up north, east, west, Again, we have campuses all over the country, a lot of networking resources all across the country that we can help you in securing employment opportunities. And this is an ongoing service. So 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, a graduate ever needs assistance, they can pick up the phone and call us. We're always there to support them when it comes to career placement, career advancement, and career growth opportunities. All right, housing. We do have housing available, a couple of different options for housing. We have dorms on campus, and we also have off-campus apartment-style housing programs available. We just want to make sure you got somewhere safe, make sure you got somewhere comfortable to live while you're going to school. Apartments come fully furnished, utilities are included in your rent, so it's pretty convenient. You just pack your bags, you come out, and move in. Not too bad. Financial aid and scholarships are available for you if you qualify for them. We have a financial aid department that's going to be able to go through and assist you in going and applying for and securing different types of funding options that are out there for you. So you don't have to go out and try to figure all that out on your own. We actually have a financial aid advisors that work with our students and help them through this process. So go through and help you see what you're eligible for, what you qualify for, hopefully make your education affordable. And then scholarships, very, very important. We talked about the Imagine America Scholarship a little bit earlier. Lee did. It's a great one. It's a super, super easy application to complete. Some of you may have already done it this year. Some of you may not. If you have not, you need to do it. Every high school has these scholarships available. You can go right online to imagine-america.org. You can do your application. It takes about 15 minutes. It's a pretty simple process. So if you have not done it yet, I recommend that you go on, that you apply for the scholarship. We also have some other scholarship opportunities available through different types of competitions. Some are need-based, some are merit-based. We award over $14 million in grants and scholarships every year. And one of our big ones is our scholarship test. It's a 20-question test, basic math and word comprehension. Takes the average student about 12 minutes to complete it. It's 20 questions. You have a 20-minute time limit. And scholarships for this competition start out at $1,000. They go up to as high as $15,000. It's a great opportunity. So at the end of the presentation today, I will go ahead and put the link for the scholarship test in the chat box. So for those of you who are seniors, if you are interested in taking the scholarship test, try to take a crack at getting some of that scholarship money, then you can go ahead and click that link today, complete your scholarship test, and then we can tell you how to get a hold of somebody at the school to get the so they can let you know what kind of scholarship you qualify for based off of your test score. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is our process. We interview and hand select all of our students. So we are conducting interviews over Zoom video conferencing. We get on Zoom with you and your parents. We put you through a full-blown interview process. We hand select our students because it allows us to create a better learning environment, allows us to guard our reputation, and then we want to make sure we're not setting anybody up for failure. We want to make sure you have what it takes to come and be successful in our program. So these interviews are conducted on Zoom. They are interviews. Be prepared, dress professionally, resume, letters of recommendation. Your parents do have to be there for these interviews. Very important. So great opportunity, but you do have to go through that process to meet with a representative, a local representative from your area, and they will go through and put you through an interview process to make sure it's a good fit. We're going to make sure Lincoln Tech's a good fit for you, you're a good fit for us, and that your family is supported. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to turn it back over to Lee here in just a moment. If you are interested in getting more information about our scholarships, our programs, or possibly setting up interviews, you can contact Dave Osmond, 615-499-0270, or you can email him at davidosmond@lincolntech.edu. And he can get you in touch with a local representative from your area to talk about setting up interviews, scholarship opportunities. If you do take that scholarship test, you can text him your score and he can get you the information relative to the scholarships you qualify for. So for that scholarship test, you can actually scan this QR code right here, and it will take you to the scholarship test site to complete your scholarship test now. And or I will also send it through the chat here in just a moment. I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate your attention. And Lee, I hand it back over to you.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thanks. And really appreciate you going through the presentation with us. We are now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. So if you have a question for either myself about the Imagine America Scholarship or Dustin about any of the programs that we talked about here today or anything related to Lincoln Tech, please feel free to type it into the Q&A and ask your question so that we can address any questions you might have. It looks like the first question, Dustin, this person wants to know about, it actually kind of relates to the interview a little bit. They want to know about GPA or SAT score requirements in order to attend Lincoln Tech. Can you kind of talk a little bit about your process as far as the testing goes?
Yes, so we do not have any academic requirements to get in. No GPA, ACT, or SAT requirements for entrance. It's just simply the interview process is how we go about determining the students that we allow into our programs.
Gotcha. Okay, so essentially a student would do an interview with you, and maybe, GPA or SAT scores are not, part of the consideration. It's more just making sure that they're a good fit for the school and that your school is a good fit for them. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, the representative would have to recommend the student to the school for entrance, for application.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Now, this person wanted to know if this is being recorded. So yes, this is being recorded. We will be sending you the recording so that you can, show it to your parents, show it to any friends, or just to rewatch it yourself in case maybe you missed something, you want to look back at it. This person wants to know about the Imagine America Scholarship. So I will send this recording, and with that recording, I will send a link to the scholarship test, the Lincoln Tech scholarship test, along with a link to where you can go to apply for the Imagine America Scholarship. I would recommend, obviously, that you apply for both, and see what you can get in order to attend Lincoln Tech. The next question, this person wants to know about housing. I know we kind of talked about housing a little bit. Now, remind me, Dustin, they're not dorms. They're sort of like apartment living. Is that right?
In Nashville, we have apartment style living, and we do actually have dormitories at our Nashville campus.
Oh, okay, good.
That's
And
that's our only campus with actual dorms. Most all of the campuses have apartment style living. Nashville has both. So
great.
Yep.
And so I'm guessing they'd be rooming with other Lincoln Tech students. Am I right?
Correct. Yes, they would have roommates, and they would be their classmates. If they have friends that might be interested in coming and going with them, they can make arrangements to room and live with their friends. So there are some options and some flexibility there with their roommates.
That's great. And can they stay either in the dorm or in the housing facility for as long as they're attending Lincoln Tech, or is there like some colleges have you can only go for your freshman year at a dorm? Are there rules like that?
Nope, they stay there the whole time.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Good to know. All right, great. Well, I think that wraps up our presentation here. I did say that we were going to have a 4:30 hard close. Looks like we're 1 minute over, which is fine. But I just want to let everybody know here that we will be sending you the recording of this presentation along with Dustin's contact information. So if you have any further questions for Dustin, please feel free to reach out to him. Or if you want to schedule that interview, reach out to him as well. Before closing, I just want to thank all of our participants for taking time out of their busy schedules. I know that you've been on Zoom meetings or something like it with digital education all day long, and you're probably zoomed out. And we just really appreciate you carving a little bit of time out of your day today to come and speak with us and to hear what we have to say. I'd also like to thank Dustin for sharing with us today's presentation and encourage each and every one of you to contact him directly with any future questions. But on behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Dustin and myself, I want to thank you all and goodbye.